welcome to Cleveland TV International. Here in Spain. Today we'll be talking to the let me say the most important Yoruba man in South Africa right now. Welcome to the studio, sir.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. Can you please tell us your name, sir?
My name is Seyi Akinleye.
Seyi Akinleye, engineer
Yes.
Seyi Akinleye.
Yes.
Okay, sir. Before we go on, I would like you to say something to the public, to the general Yoruba land. In Yoruba, we call it Oriki, and I'm a Yoruba man myself, so I would like to hear that from you.
I will say ẹ káalẹ́ gbogbo ẹ̀yin èèyàn wa káàkiri gbogbo àgbáńlá ayé.
Hmm.
Èmi Ṣèyí Akínlẹ́yẹ, òun ni ó wà ní orí ètò amóhùnmáwòrán ní ọwọ́. Yóò yẹ gbogbo wa síre láṣẹ Èdùmàrè.
Àmín. Yes, sir. Sir, my first question is why
Okay.
the Yoruba Association in South Africa? Why is it important to have an association like that?
It is very important to have an association of Yoruba in South Africa. The reason is there are many people, many Yoruba residing in South Africa. And we took it upon ourselves to come together, to unite together, to project ourselves so that we can be able to defend the dignity of Yoruba, the culture and the language in South Africa. That is the reason, and also to foster unity among ourselves. Yeah.
Okay, you said something now. You said to project ourselves. Are you projecting
Yes.
yourselves or you are projecting the Yoruba culture and race?
You see, before we can talk about a culture, talk about race, we have to project ourselves so that we will identify who we are, where we are coming from. Then when we project ourselves, then we'll be able to determine where we have missed out and what we are supposed to be doing that we are not doing. By meeting together, projecting ourselves, then we can be able to identify the key area where we can introduce a culture and our tradition into South Africa community where we reside. Yeah.
Okay. And you said something again. How to integrate and get the South Africans involved in Yoruba culture. How have you been successful in that area?
We've tried in that aspect to integrate South Africa into our culture and tradition. Most of us residing in South Africa, also marry South Africa. With that now, through our children, also through religion class or other social gathering, with the way we look and the way we dress, it's also attract people and it also bring a lot of question, and people started to ask many things about Yoruba and tradition. With that now, some of our wives and our children, they have received adequate knowledge about our culture and about the tradition, which they can be able to now present the idea of what Yoruba people stand for in anywhere they meet such people that request that from them.
Okay. That is something I would like to hear from you again.
Okay.
Do you teach the young children? Do you have any plan in place to teach the young children that were giving birth to in South Africa, Yoruba?
Yeah, it's in our plan to do that. Although it's going to be a big project, but it's in the pipeline, but we have not started doing that because first it's capital intensive. You must understand that South Africa has 9 provinces, and we are all scattered in the 9 provinces. We are not just in one place. Without now, for us to have such institution, it requires a lot of planning and it requires a lot of fund. But it's in our plan, and I believe that one day we will get there. But in our individual home, in our meeting, we do teach our South African Nigeria children what the culture is all about, how to greet, how to respect people, the type of food, and how to wear our traditional attire. We do try in that aspect, yes.
And the children, are they coping with with the Yoruba culture? How are they receiving it?
You see, South African people, they are very lovely and loving people. No matter any other circumstances, they are loving people. And even the children that we have here, they love the tradition, they love the culture. You can imagine if you had a Nigerian South African child, that which country did you come from? Definitely the child is a South Africa, but the child will tell you I'm in Nigeria. You can
Really?
imagine. Yes, they choose to be in Nigeria over
But
South Africa.
do they visit Nigeria often? Do they go to Nigeria
Uh,
often for visiting holidays?
uh, it depends on parents. Some parents take their children to Nigeria for holiday. Yeah, they do.
So how did the association? How do you people get to achieve so much that the children are thinking they are Nigerians? Because in Europe, if you ask a Nigerian born European, they will tell you, no, I'm European, I'm not Nigerian. Some of
Hmm.
them.
You see, all that depends on the parent, on how you teach your children. And then also, if you like impart the knowledge, at the earlier age on your child. It's not about to talk about the negative things about our country into the children. They will learn the negative way. It is about telling them the positive things about Nigeria. And you see, we have a lot of things that interest them: the clothes, the food, the tradition, the dance.
Mm.
Without now, the dance also, there are many of our music that is being played in South Africa. And it's very obvious they have seen South Africa, they live in South Africa. Definitely, they also want to experience Nigeria. And as a father, we always tell them that Ilela Bosimioko, we always tell them that
So
Nigeria is your home.
you end up going back to speak Yoruba at the end of the day.
Yeah. That is what we do. We say it
Yeah,
to them
I
that
like that.
that
As a Yoruba community, and you know why I'm asking this. There is a lot of Yoruba communities in Europe.
okay.
They have different chapter. We have Yoruba community in Spain as well. The president is in Madrid, and I want the interview to go in a way that everybody could learn from what you are doing, or you learn from them as well.
Okay.
So I want to ask you a question. What have the Yoruba community been able to do to the Yoruba community in South Africa to help them?
Yoruba community in South Africa, what have they done
To
to
help
help
like the
Yoruba?
Yoruba people there. As a president, what have you done? Your cabinet, what have your
Ah,
cabinet
we
done?
You see, in that aspect, we have done a lot because you see, our association is structured in such a way that make our work to be very easy. You understand, through our chapters. And if any request is of the chapter request, maybe there's any request of assistance from the chapter come up together and assist the person. And if it's a national request also, we don't turn a deaf ears to them. We also come to their aid and assist. We have done a lot. We have assisted a lot of people. Are
In
you
what
talking
area?
about people?
I want you to be specific. In what area have you helped any Yoruba man or woman?
Okay, let me tell you. Okay, let me tell you the one that happened of recent. In my chapter in my constituency, which is KwaZulu-Natal,
Mm-hmm.
there is an old man that wants to return back to Nigeria.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's in his 60s, but it's not that healthy. Then he wants to return back home. He came to the meeting. He proposed to us that he wants to return back to Nigeria. We gather money, we give to him. The next meeting, we are not supposed to see him because we have done the send off for him. Then he came again to the meeting that followed. Then we said, you're supposed to be in Nigeria. What are you still doing here? Then he said, well, he doesn't have money for tickets. Said, oh, why can't you tell us that he doesn't have money? Why are you planning that you want to travel to Nigeria and you don't have money for tickets? Then he said, oh, he hope in some places and doesn't materialize. At that meeting, we come together, we gather money together, and we bought him a ticket to return back home. We have been doing that in a number of occasions. Are you talking about paying people school fees? Are you talking about people feeding to the orphanage? Yeah, we've been doing that. We've been doing a lot. Even our member that is in distress, we rose up in one accord and assist them. A lot. A
What
lot
about
has
the
been.
attacks in South Africa?
What do you mean by attack?
The xenophobic attack on our people, on Yoruba people as well.
I would say xenophobic is centrally on Yoruba people,
No,
but it's just.
I'm only discussing that because you are the Yoruba president.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it happens. It happens in South Africa. It is just what we cannot control. It's just a prejudice against people from other country, other African country. When there is a competition in scarce resources, people try to use their way, to try to get their way. It's happening. And we've tried also to speak to our government. Our government also have spoken to South African government. But for now, I can assure you that things is cool. And yeah, things is cool. We are living fine. South African people, they are loving people. But there are some rotten people. If delivery of services or job loss or whatsoever happen to them, they attribute it on the foreigner, that reside in their communities, and they wage the attack on them. And also issue of governance also come into being. There are many foreign nationals residing in South Africa. There is, and major of the attack is being carried out by the black people, black people, South Africa. Yeah,
Yeah, the
also
black
in black
community.
community. Yes, yes.
Okay.
Yes.
How do you manage your team, your networks all over South Africa? And again, how many Yorubas are living in South Africa? Do you have that information?
I think there are about 40,000.
40,000 Yorubas all over South
Yeah.
Africa.
All over South Africa. Yeah, there are
And
many.
how many is a member in the Yoruba Association?
In Yoruba Association, I think at national, I'm the national president. Then we have our chapters. In the chapter, that is where we have a membership. At national, there is no member. National is just a body that control the chapters, you understand, and also regulate the activities. But we have about 3 to 5,000, three active, be 2,000 non-active. Yeah, 3 to 5,000 members.
Okay. You mentioned something in your speech now. You said the national controls the body. How do you do it? What are the structure?
Okay, the structure that we have in place in a National Association of Yoruba Descendants in Southern Africa, we have a National Executive Council, which I'm the president. Then I have my executive, the vice president, secretary, treasurer, financial secretary, PRO, women leader, youth leader, welfare officer, like that. Then we are a body, that control the activities of the national event and the chapters. Then under us we have a chapter. That chapter is, maybe you may call it a ward, you may call it a constituency, you can also call it a local government. Then we have that across South Africa. All over South Africa, we have that. And that chapter is being headed by a chairperson. And that chairperson also have a executive secretary, vice chairperson, like that. Then at the national again, we have a board of trustees. Board of trustees, elderly people that give advices to the national council. Yeah, that is how we structure it. And part of our structure also is our meetings. We have regularly in our chapter, some monthly, some are like twice a month. Then we have our national convention, general assembly, chapter meeting, followed by board of trustee meetings and national executive council meeting. Yeah.
Okay. I would want to ask you, how did you become the president of Yoruba Association, and when?
Well, it's a long journey, but not very far. I started I started in my constituency, which is Devon. Then I bring people together. I just tell them that there's a need for us to come together, with what is happening around us today. Then people listening to me, then I started. Then we're having our meeting. Then we receive a call from National that we should come, that we cannot just be doing the meeting in Durban. We cannot exist in isolation. We should try and join the national body. Then we went for a series of meetings. Thereafter, there's election that came up that time. I contested for the position of a vice president, which I won. Then after I've served my people during that time as the vice president, then the tenure finishes, then there's another election. Then the people now say, no, I must come out for the president due to the past service that I render, that they still want me to serve the community again. That is how I have the opportunity to lead the Yoruba people in Southern Africa as a national president, which started from 2016, July 23rd, 2016. This current executive was inaugurated, and the end of the tenure will be this year, July 23rd as well. Yeah.
So, according to what you have said now, to me, it looks like you are the founder of the Yoruba Association in South Africa.
I'm not the founder.
Yeah, because you said in your statements, you bring people together.
In my constituency, in my chapter, that is why I explained before that we are using a chapter structure. In my chapter, I bring people together in Durban. Then I started the chapter. There are many other various chapters in South Africa. We have in Pretoria, Joburg, we have in Limpopo, Cape Town, like that. Bloemfontein,
Okay, you said
Kimberley.
you are the vice president, and the election was conducted when? Which year?
The election, that should be 2013. Yeah.
2013.
Yeah.
So, when did the association itself, when did it start in South Africa?
You see, association has started many years back before the national body was formulated. The chapter has been existing on their own. but there is no unifying body that unify all the chapter together. Everybody is running their chapter on their own until Yoruba elders now come together that we have to have a national body that will coordinate all the chapter. During that process, I was not with chapters, or no, I was not with the National Association by then. That in 2008, the association was registered. 2009, the first executive were inaugurated, which Prince Adesomi was the first president. Then after that, Professor Akinleye was the second president, which I was a vice then. And I'm the third president. You understand? With that, now I did not start the national body, but I started the
How many
bench.
years does a president stay in office?
Previously, it used to be 2 years, but on my own term, it was now increased to 3 years, from 2 years to 3 years now.
And why is that? Why is it different?
It's because of the election. We spend so much money on election. We spend so much money on inauguration. Then we look at it that financially it's not wise for us to be having election every 2 years, because 2 years is just down the line. That is why we say, okay, if it is 3 years, it will relieve our people of spending so much in elaborate event, inauguration, chapter coming together to force new leader every 2 years. We put that issue in consideration. That is why we say, okay, let the tenure be 3 years, so that it can accommodate people financial pockets.
Okay. You made mention of something. You said spending. The spending was not. It's too expensive to be changing every 2 years. Do the association? Do you have sponsorship?
Yeah, we do have previously, but we are struggling to get a sponsorship. But we do have very few years in the past. We cope. We generate funds within our member, and we also have some Yoruba people that are not our member but love what we are doing. Sometimes they usually give us money when we have a big event.
Okay. Um, I was thinking. I want to know a little bit about you, and I want the world to know, because I see the way you respond. You are very calm, and you are not even shaking. Why is that? I want to know about you a little bit.
It is what I'm doing. I've been doing this for a couple of years.
Yeah.
And I've sit with many people. I have marketed Egbe Yoruba to many people. I have sit with government official. I have sit with law enforcement. Nothing is shaking me, because it is what I believe, and I don't see why I should not be able to defend myself in my tradition and my culture. I'm a Yoruba man, and everything about me is Yoruba. You understand? Before I became a Nigerian, I was first born as a Yoruba man.
Yes.
Then maybe I have a Nigerian identity, but I was
Yeah,
born
a
as a
pure Yoruba
Yoruba man.
man. But
Yes.
then I still want to know a bit about you, your private life, your biography, a little bit.
Okay. Yeah, I've already said my name. Seyi Akinleye is my name. I came from Ogun State in Nigeria.
Where to be
Ilaru.
precise, in Ogun State?
Ilaru, Yewa.
Okay. Okay.
Then I came to South Africa 2006. I
Mm-hmm.
think that is about 12 years now. I'm married to a South African lady, and I have kids with her as well. Yeah.
Okay.
Then I'm into information technology. Yeah. I run a company called Asna Investment and First Link Resources Pty Limited.
Mm. And what do you do in the company? What exactly? What you develop software or you?
We develop software, we do a networking computer program where we do that also, and we did point of sales also as well in the company.
Oh, sorry
Custom.
for tapping into your personality, into your personal
No,
life.
it is it is fun. It is fun.
Okay. What are your plans for Yoruba people in South Africa and in Nigeria?
You see, before we talk about Nigeria, we have to unite ourselves. If we have a common unity among ourselves, then we will be able to unite as a nation and as Nigeria. And that is the reason why we run all this association to educate our people, to encourage them, to tell them who we are, where we are coming from, and where we are going. Then people so much have trust in people that have residing abroad, back home. We don't want anybody that have reside in abroad to go back home and become a rotten egg. We want them to be meaningful to society. We want to produce a good candidate that will assist in growing our nation. Because if you look at it now, the best brain that are supposed to develop Nigeria have already sojourned abroad.
Hmm.
Now, if they are abroad, what about their children? What about those that came into abroad in the early age? We don't want to find them, living the life of abroad. But we want them to be living the life of Nigeria, living the life of Yoruba man, living the life of Yoruba woman, Yoruba lady, and Yoruba children. And we cannot allow it to continue to happen, in our society, in our community, where we will not be able to produce a leader that will lead people. You know,
Yes,
change will not just happen. Some of us has to make a sacrifice for the change.
of course.
That is the reason. And also, what about our culture that is going into extinct, is dying? And if our father do not preserve those culture for us, we believe by today, I cannot be proud of being a Yoruba man. But simply because our father preserved those culture, that is the reason we can today and say, I am a Yoruba person. Let me give you one instances. I was working in the mall and I dressed in Yoruba attire. There's a young guy that, he just walked to me and greeted me. Then I responded. Then he said, "Oh, are you in Nigeria?" I said, "Yeah." Then the boy responded that he's also in Nigeria. And I told him that you don't look like one. He said, "Why?" I said, "The way you look." He said, "Yes, that her mother is a South Africa, his father is a Igbo, and his
Wow.
father told him that anywhere he see a Nigeria, he must always identify himself." You understand? Without
Yes.
now, if an Igbo son can walk to me and greeted me, we also need to educate, our children in that aspect. We believe and will not lie to ourselves. As Yoruba, we have not been doing so well in that area of like placing our culture and teaching our children the role that they have to play in the society. I believe other tribes have been trying more than us. And that is the reason for all this association to educate our people, to tell them what they need to teach their children at home so that we will be able to achieve the plan of Yoruba for our children so that we'll be able to present the cultural image of Nigeria and of Yoruba community in South Africa, to everybody.
Okay. I pray and I wish people, the Yoruba people, are listening to you right now, or they would listen to you. because you have spoken very well. But another thing again is that you made mention that the culture is dying.
Yes.
What are we supposed to do to fix that from dying?
Yeah. You see, we don't believe in our own. We so much believe in the Western world. A Yoruba man will be proud to tell you, I'm traveling to London, I'm flying to US. But you will not have the same pride to tell you that I'm traveling to Abeokuta, I'm traveling to Ibadan. You see, we don't believe in what we have. And even if you travel to Nigeria, you will experience it that the culture is not being imparted in the children again. The way we greet, like when I was growing up, the way I greet the elder people is not the same the children of our days, greeted again. Whether if the culture
But
is
what is
dying
the
and we need
solution?
to revive it. The solution is I think we need to go back to the basics. That is it. Every parents, school, yeah, so that the children, even from school, can have an understanding of what our culture is all about. It's not about English. If uh, major subject, can be taught in Yoruba language, definitely it will revive the culture. Lagos State did something similar to that. If all the states in Yoruba land can do the same thing, you know. National anthem can be sung in Yoruba language. And other things, church activities. Why not in Yoruba language? Most mosque activities. Why not in Yoruba language? You see, that is why we are losing it, because everything has to be about the.
Don't you think it will be expensive to translate those language now into Yoruba?
It will not be expensive. We are software professionals. We can easily translate all that, with the use of the modern technology and softwares on the apps, then we can be able to do that. It's not that expensive. We just need authority to put the structure in place.
But have you tried? Have you tried to talk to the Yoruba leaders, maybe the king and co?
Yes, we have traveled to meet some of the king, and some of them we brought them also to South Africa, so that our children can see how our king look like, how we greet them, how we give them respect. And they also have encouraged us that we should continue in the humanitarian service that we are doing. That is one of the ways that we can revive our culture. And it's also one of the ways that we can educate people about Yoruba tradition, what we believe, and what we stand for.
Yeah, they've given you hope, but they did not give solution, isn't it?
It's all about giving hope. I believe the solution, we have to come together. One king cannot just offer a solution. I think all the king have to come together. They have to agree on the best solution. Then they have to present that solution to government to market the solution.
But based on that, what did they say? Are they having any plan in place? Are they making any move to make that happen?
Not at all, but they are doing something on their own. But when we are talking about something to be done on unity for the Yoruba based on our culture and tradition, no, I haven't heard of such, in the recent year.
And don't you think, even if they have responded, it would have conflict with the Constitution of Nigeria, being English is the official language?
You see, if English is our official language, we can address a lot of things in the Constitution. We can address it, because at the end of the day, the Constitution is written by us. and there are room for amendment in the Constitution. It's not a final document that is binding on us. It can be amended.
So
We are not
you are at the
saying
end of
that.
the day talking about review of the Constitution of Nigeria.
You see, it's not only about Yoruba culture. It is about all the tribe in Nigeria, the central government, and also the state government and the local government has to promote the culture. And if we see that that is the only way we can advance ourselves, definitely they have to review the constitution. If the constitution will be a problem, they have to review it
But
so that it will accommodate.
I'm just, I'm just confused a little bit because if they allow everybody to use their language, how are we going to interact, for example, with somebody from the north? If they use Hausa to do everything, they are not going to be interested in English. And if they don't speak English, how do we understand them? Or how do they understand us?
You see, let me get you clear, and also our viewer clear. What I'm saying, I'm not saying that English should be eradicated or should be removed from our constitution or our way of life. That is not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is major subjects in primary school, secondary school, even university should be taught in Yoruba language, Hausa, Igbo, Ishekiri, and like that. You see, when you teach a children their mother tongue, they will have the depth understanding of what you are teaching them. You understand my point now?
Yeah.
They will have an understanding. But if major English can be a subject on this on its own, mathematics is Ishiro. Mathematics can be taught in Yoruba language. Geography can be taught in Yoruba language. Okay, physics, chemistry, maybe that can be in English. But all other subjects that we know that we can translate to Yoruba should be taught in Yoruba and other dialects in Nigeria.
Okay. Okay. Um, I would like to know how many ESCOs do you have
Nine.
at the national body?
Nine. At the national body, I have nine, including myself.
Okay. And are they effective? Are they performing? Are they loyal?
Yeah, they are loyal. They are performing their individual duties.
And you are in charge?
Yes, fully in charge.
Okay. Um, you have answered me so quite well that I don't even know what next to ask you. Isn't that funny? The only thing I can tell you now is what have you got to say to the Yoruba public generally?
What I would say to Yoruba people is we can do it.
Mm,
The road may be tough, but it's only the toughest that get going when the road are tough.
mm.
We can do it. We might have lost on our track, but we can retrack ourselves. We have learned and we have realized that we have made a mistake. Yes, our culture may be dying, but it's not dead. We can revive it. It is
Okay,
now it is now the high time for us to come together and unify in our strength and in our effort, to revive the Yoruba culture and our tradition, which we now project a good image of ourselves.
okay. Um, I know there is an event coming up in South Africa very soon
Yes,
about the 10th year anniversary of the Yoruba Union or Association down there. What can you tell us
yes.
about the event?
There is a lot about the 10th years anniversary. and we have a lot of things that we want to achieve from it. First, it will bring us together as a family and also as a Yoruba community in Southern Africa. It will also present a cultural image of Nigeria and of Yoruba with South African community. And to also give us the privilege to appreciate those who have served the association with honor in the past and in present.
So that means you want to reward those that have done well to the Yoruba
Yes,
Association.
definitely.
Okay. So when is it coming up exactly, and where?
27th of April is coming up, and it will be in a wheat bank in Pumalanga province. Yeah.
Should you said 27th of April of which year?
2019 this year.
You know why I asked that question? Because video is always going to be online, and I don't want it to be misleading.
Yes,
Later in the future.
27th April. Yeah, 27th April 2019 this year. Yes.
Okay. That would be nice because we are, unfortunately, I would have loved to be there, but
Okay.
Clevenard is having an event in Spain as well to bring the unity of Africa together. We are
That is
Yorubas,
good.
yeah, but then we are Africans,
That is true.
and nothing can take that away.
Mm,
Our
that is
children,
correct.
wherever we give birth to them, will be African. Even if they
Mm,
want to claim whatever, they are always
mm,
going to relate to Africa. So what
that is true.
Clevenard tried to do, plan to do, is to bring businesses in Africa to Europe and those in Europe to Africa, and should be done
Mm,
on a level playing ground
mm,
without any middle person. And as a Yoruba man, I would like to work with your association. I am going to extend the hand of partnership to your association and see how we can develop Africa from this event coming up in Spain, 27th of April, Palma de Mallorca. And
mm.
the title is PFAD. What have you got to say about it, sir?
About the
The
event.
event promoting African culture, developing human development programs, educational programs, and so on and so forth.
That is very good and interesting. You see, the way you guys are doing over there, we are also doing the same thing in South Africa. If
Okay.
every Yoruba people can have association, active association worldwide, and we are doing the same thing, you understand?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it may be different time from ourselves, but if we continue doing the same thing, definitely we are rebranding our image and we are rebranding our identity, to the outside world.
Okay.
So,
So, sir, I would like to draw the curtain here by thanking you very much for honoring my invitation to talk to me and by doing the Yoruba race proud and Nigeria. And if we
right,
extend it further, Africa. So
right.
I hope if we call on you next time, you will give us your attention again.
Yes, of course.
Okay, sir. So my regards to your family and good night, sir.
Good night. Thank you and remain blessed.
Thank you, sir.